Does Google think we're all rich now? Because when it's showing us what the new Android AI can do, all the examples are ways to spend your money faster. I hope this is not what Apple thinks we want from the new Siri. Google announced new AI in Android, and it's called Gemini Intelligence. And I'm sorry, I have to laugh because I know we say that these companies all copy each other, but come on, Google, you even copied the Apple Intelligence name when you already had a name. But jokes aside, iPhone owners should watch what Google is doing here because Google is working together with Apple. The new personalized Siri system is being built off Google's Gemini programming. Gemini is the foundation of what we could get in a future iPhone. And after what I saw from Google's video, unless you like ordering a lot of food and concert tickets with AI, not much here is that special. Well, there was one thing, the widget thing, and then there was also the green screen thing. Okay, so make that 2 more things. But these Android updates are not even real yet to test. What you see is all just flashy editing of what could become real someday. So there's no reason for us to trust this heavily edited presentation. It's no different than when Apple gave us those big promises of what Siri could be designed to do someday with personalization, and we're still waiting for that someday. Let's start with the example that Android users will be able to take a photo of a concert poster and then ask the system to buy 2 floor tickets to that concert. Now see, in this example, we're not seeing the ticket app being opened. It's supposedly doing this in the background, and we do not see the confirmation page before things are purchased. I would think you need some sort of prompt to confirm before buying. And we also don't know, is this just going to take you to that one special app to buy the tickets or let you know all the ways you can buy tickets? Let's switch to what you can do on the iPhone. If I ask for tickets on Siri, I'm just going to get ChatGPT right now telling me where to buy tickets. It's not doing the job for me. But using Apple Music right now, I can easily pull up upcoming tickets for any band I like, and there are a few options of where to get that ticket. It takes me through to that website. I could see this being leveled up into skipping some steps and jumping right to that sales page faster with voice commands. So yes, this looks realistic, like Apple could incorporate this somehow. Okay, back to Android. If someone asks, "What is your ETA?" in a text message, it might suggest your answer by connecting to maps and seeing how far away you are from an event in your calendar. Yeah, you're not seeing all that info in the Google example. They're not showing you what it takes to make that happen. Right now, in my Apple devices, I'm already getting a pop-up nudge when I need to leave for an event in my calendar based on my current location and the current traffic. The new twist here is this text chat suggestion. Now that's more personalization. I could see that as something Apple would add. For Gemini Intelligence, we are watching a guy ask his phone for a late night pizza spot. Yeah, we got that on Siri. It's done. I can ask Siri the same thing in multiple ways, and I get nearby pizza that's open late along with directions. Nothing new here. Moving on. Google's presentation said that Gemini Intelligence is right now being tested to do tasks for you around food and rideshare apps. But all the examples were around spending money. Take your class syllabus and put those textbooks right in your shopping cart. Reserve a front row bike with a spin class app. But without live demos, it's hard to know what it feels like to actually do these commands and what steps are needed to pull the trigger on making the purchase. We get a little more detail in this example. Here, a user takes a photo of a poster that advertises a coffee tour. You could ask your phone to use Expedia to find you a similar tour and book tickets for up to 6 people. Now, here we do see that person would need to confirm to continue the purchase, but the success in all of these requests just depends on how the apps are working well with the assistant in the phone and the permissions granted with each app. I would have liked to see more examples of an assistant helping me with reminders and tasks that are not tied to spending money. Here's where the widget builder comes in. This is something that actually has me excited. It's got a lot of potential. Think of it as vibe coding your own phone widget. You can ask the Gemini Intelligence to build a widget that shows you something very specific, like special weather data. Or another example was that you want to track a certain fashion item. Okay, here we go shopping again, Google. All right, silly me. Sometimes I forget Google is a shopping and advertising company disguised as a consumer product. But here's another example of making your own widget for pulling up new recipes every day. All right, why go to a website anymore when a widget can just pull up the answers for you? I know I'm being a little silly and sassy, but overall, this is the kind of stuff I love to play with too. This is a smart update, but it has the potential to be a little buggy because it needs all these good sources of information to pull from. Another aspect of Gemini Intelligence shown off is something called the Rambler. It's the idea that it could clean up your dictation when you're all over the place and changing your mind while you're talking. Here's an example.
Hey, do you want to get lunch tomorrow? No, wait, shoot, I have a thing. Let's do Wednesday at Mario's. No, actually, let's do Amy's Pizza. And yeah, I will let you order the pineapple.
I actually don't mind if Siri never gets this because it is a robot assuming a lot about what I want to say and what I didn't mean to say. So I'm on the fence about that one. But in general, being able to speak in natural language is the goal we are all going for here. So often, we craft our words very special when we're talking to assistants. So it was good to see Google do more in this space and also handle 2 different languages at once, or even just being able to program those widgets using natural language. And I'm going to skip ahead here to another feature that I think will give iPhone owners some Android envy, especially for video creators. There is this video recording mode where you can cut yourself out to make it look like you were on a green screen talking about the images behind you. That is something I do on apps like TikTok, and it would be very cool to have that built inside the phone itself. So I will give Google some kudos for that. Google says these updates are coming in the summer, and we can see this in a future Pixel and Samsung phone. Next week, the in-person Google I/O Developers Conference might give us some real-world demos. Maybe then we will get a taste of what is real compared to a marketing video. It won't be long before we find out what influence Gemini has on the new Siri because Apple's got its big presentation in June. Let me know in the comments what Gemini Intelligence you want to see in Apple Intelligence because it is starting to seem like the same thing. I mean, did you see the new Android interface? It's all clear now, but don't call it liquid glass. It's more like transparent plastic.
Loves it.
At least if all of our phones are going to do the same thing, then we can all have encrypted text chats because this week we learned RCS texts from Android and iMessage will be encrypted. So that's good. Go update your iPhone software to iOS 26.5 and I'll see you next week for one more thing.